Hi folks, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and another one of our short reviews on games that are great to play with casual gamers, hardcore gamers, or even non-gamers. Today we're going to talk about the 2 to 4 player game Arboretum by Dan Cassar. Now, in Arboretum, it's another one of the set collection games, but it's really unique. So in the game, what you're going to do is you're going to remove some of the trees, species from the deck based on your player count. Once you've done that, you're going to put the deck in the middle and you're going to hand out 7 cards to every player. Now, the interesting thing about the game is you're always going to have these 7 cards from the beginning to the end of the game. And what you're going to do on your turn is you have one action and you can choose between 2 different things. So, or you can choose between 2 different things, but I'll explain that. So you can draw 2 cards from the deck, or if there's a discard pile, say that's here, I can say I'll draw a card from the top of this discard pile and the deck, or there could be multiple discard piles out. Let's see if we can get that a little higher here. Multiple discard piles on here, and I can pick like this one and put those in my hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the cards in my hand. Now you'll notice that I have 9 cards now. And I'm going to place a card in my Arboretum. So let's say I place this 1 oak here. And then I have to discard a card to my own little personal discard pile, which is available for everyone. I'll discard a 2 maple. Okay? And then that card is available to everyone else. And they'll take their turns and they'll do that same action. And when it gets back to my turn, I can even draw from the card I discarded on my turn if I want, or another one of these piles, or here. Now, what you're going to do is the next card that I have to place it adjacent to an existing card. They don't have to be in order, they don't have to be anything special, but they have to be adjacent to an existing card. So that could be, I could place it here, I could place it here, here, or here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to, let's go ahead and just put some cards out. I'll just see if I can do this in some logical way. I got a lot of ones here. Okay. Let's say we do that. So this is my Arboretum, maybe at the end of the game. There'll be a lot more, but let's say this is this here. I don't know if you can see all that, but this here is my Arboretum. And what will happen is I'll score at the end of the game. But here's the kicker. I'll only score is if in my 7 cards, there's not even 7 cards here, but in my 7 cards that are in my hand, I have the highest number of total of that species. So let's say I have, right now, I have 9 of dogwood. And no one else has 9 of dogwood. That's the highest number. I will be the only one to score dogwood, period, out of all the players. So if I look at it, I have a 1, so I get 1 point. Now, we have other sets here too. So let's say I'm able to score oak. So if I'm able to score oak, I'll have 1, and it has to be sequential order. So I have a 1. They have to be sequentially higher. Sorry. So I have a 1, 2, and 7. So I can count this. Now, if I had a 3 here, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I'll have 1, 2, 3. Since there is no other species in the way, I get an additional point. So I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since I started with a 1, that also gives a bonus point. And you also get a bonus point for ending with an 8. Now, the reason why you get the bonus points for the 1 and the 8s is because keeping the 1s and the 8s in your hand can be advantageous, because 8 obviously will help add to your score in your hand of total for your species of trees to either prevent someone else from scoring or be able to score. But the cool thing about the 1s is, even though they're not numerically high, they negate 8s. So if I'm holding an 8 in my hand and someone else has a 1 in their hand, I don't have any points if that's the only tree species I had. So they have to match species too. So there's a lot in the game in the cards that you keep in your hands, because that's how you score, and where you lay them out. Now another example right here, I don't know if you can see it completely, but I have a 3 and a 5. So 5's larger than 3. So I have a row here I can go through. So I'm going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll get 4 points, but I don't get any additional points because there's other species of trees in the way. So when you place out your tableau, you can't move them around or anything. So there's a lot of strategy on how you're placing them out and what ends up available in the different discard piles out in the middle of the board. And there's a lot of player interaction and is watching what other species the other players are trying to score on. So you might be like, well, I have a 7 and 6 of dogwood in my hand, so there's no chance that my brother, who is making a huge point scoring line of dogwood trees, is going to score. So I'll keep them in my hand of 7 until the end of the game, and he won't be able to score them. So there is a lot of fun interaction with that. It can be a little frustrating on there, but if you say, okay, well, let's play it a couple more times and get used to it, you know basically what's going to happen. So the cards are 1 through 8. You know, there's no duplicates of anything. 1 through 8 of each species that's included in the deck. So it's pretty easy to tell what you need to do. And even if you started out there and you didn't get the cards you wanted, and you notice that they may or may not actually be able to block you from scoring, you can go different routes to be safe, because there's multiple different species and you get to place out a lot in your tableau. I highly recommend this game. This game might be a little bit more than potentially than an entry-level game, because it's a little bit more difficult to teach, because I didn't get into all the nuancey stuff on it, but that tableau and scoring that tableau can be a little bit complicated, or at least difficult to convey. But I really do think this game is worth it and worth giving a try and playing. So thanks for watching, and that was my review of Arboretum.